I teach the forehand. So I like teaching the steps. Okay, so the first thing is we go in ready position. I don't even need my racket. I'm just going to show you with the body. So we go ready position. From there, we want you to step out on your outside leg. Okay, so I'm ready. So you'll notice when I do this, my feet are straight, and then when I step out, they're facing away from the camera to the side fence. Also, my chest, I'm turning on this outside leg. That's the coiling part, okay? So now I'm gonna grab my racket. Step one, getting your feet set, ready position, turning. I'll scoot back, show you it. Boom. Okay. Two is when I'm opening up, okay? I'm gonna be stepping in, and I'm gonna be opening up my hips. So let's see that from back here. Boom, I turn. Now from here, when I'm stepping, the hip is opening towards my target. The hard thing about this is, first off, I don't have a microphone. Two is it's actually simultaneously. So when I say stepping, I'm actually like stepping and opening at the same time. But for purpose of the video, I'm trying to like break it down slowly, right? But so step one, the turn to step. Step two, we're stepping and we're uncoiling. Now, when we uncoil, what I want you guys to do is, at home, from here, when you're turned, all right, I want you to just take your racket now and drop it here. And when you're turned, I want you to just fire the hip first. And when you fire the hip first, you're gonna feel this arm naturally come forward. And the hard part is, you know, when you're teaching beginners, you tell them, turn, drop the racket, and they drop the racket, but it's just the arm because they're not incorporating the hips and the legs into it, which is why they get an arm ball and, you know, an arming type motion on the ball. So now I'm going to start addressing some of the terms that you hear that aren't wrong, and, you know, keyboard warriors are people that know a lot. So like how I know how to break it down, comment like, oh, that's not, you know, the windshield wipe, the flashlight, whatever, butt kept the ball, that's dumb. As a coach, you know that's not dumb because they're probably trying to correct the technique with a visual where you have to throw some things out there. So yes, we teach the whole fundamentals, but remember when these coaches are doing reels and stuff, guys, it's very short. They're just trying to attract your attention and give you a quick thing. And that's why social media is dangerous for tennis, right? Because if you don't have the knowledge that us coaches have and you just hear windshield wiper, it can become dangerous because you use it incorrectly because you don't have this base that I'm teaching of the fundamentals of legs, hips, opening up and all that stuff, right? So I'm going to mention a flashlight to the ball. So when we open up, they say the butt cap, imagine there's a flashlight at the bottom of the racket, and that leads towards a tennis ball, right? And then you're going to flip out and hit the ball. That was confusing for me. Some players it works for. So even though it didn't work for me as a junior, I might teach that because it makes sense to someone, right? If I teach the basics like this and they don't get it, I'll teach that way, right? I'm just gonna find a way that works best for the player. Now, that's what that means. So if you ever hear butt cap to ball, it means they just want you to come in and rotate so that the racket can come out to the side and then flip around. Now, the next thing I'm going to address is the windshield wiper. Sometimes players get no spin or shape on the ball, and so they do the correct swing path, but it's flatter, and then they start missing against players that just get the ball in. So now my job is to teach them shape, right? They're always out, and they're not learning how to put shape on the ball. So I'll tell them, like, guys, we're going to do the windshield wiper is an exaggeration to the swing. It's just to make you feel it, so you put it together with your full swing, right? So then if I put the kids' arms in and have them do this, not all the times, I only do this with the kids that like, and the adults that really struggle with topspin, they feel it, right? And they understand, oh yeah, that feels softer, it's got more shape. But funny enough, so some kids that'll click with and they'll become better players and they can put it together with their full stroke. And to be honest, players that do this after I teach the fundamentals, the other ones that struggle with topspin, I would say 20% get the stroke when I teach that struggle with it. The other 80 actually don't. And again, that's the talent to the game as well, right? Understanding how to manipulate and feel the ball and hit topspin. Not everyone can do it like that. So that's what they mean by windshield wiper. And you have to be careful too. So where I see coaches go wrong and the rec coaches, and again, I kind of say you get what you pay for. You know, not all rec facilities are bad, and especially for athletes, rec facilities, they might be able to find a way and play pretty good. But where it becomes detrimental is if you have a really talented kid, or you're really talented and you learn that, it's kind of hard to undo. So if they don't teach you that and they teach you the windshield wiper first, then what you see is you see like this stuff, which is why probably a lot of people hate seeing that stuff on social media. But again, I'm trying to show you like different points of views from the coaches, from the players, from parents, so that you guys can understand everyone's trying to get out that information. It's just, look, I'm in the 6 minutes already. How many people probably flipped off this video already? Because who really cares that much about tennis, right? I do, because I'm passionate about it, and probably you do if you're watching this long. Most people, not so much, right? So they're going to lose people, and it's about making money, getting views, which, you know, I'm guilty of doing some short content too to try and get that following, right? So that's what all those things mean. Butt cap to ball, windshield wiper. But really what you're trying to do, guys, load up, step forward, right? But the step is simultaneously with the load. So you're opening up, this racket comes out, it's around and in through. So it's a rotation that's snapping it when you're, right, when you're hitting topspin and going crosses. It's not just the arm, okay? And it's not just straight through. That's why people get jammed too. They come straight through and then they come across. So let me grab this. So the other thing with this too, guys, is when you're rotating and you're snapping and you're doing all that stuff, find a speed that you can do it. I say it's a 60% range, where you know where your racket is on contact. So sorry, I don't have anything to hold this phone with, but when I'm swinging and I make contact, I'm gonna set this down again, guys. Perfect. When I'm swinging and I make contact, you want to know exactly where your racket is traveling, how it's going outside to inside, and where this is facing. So it's horizontal on contact. It can be slightly closed. And players, when they're learning this, they'll go too fast because they don't know what they're doing, and they're trying to make up for not knowing what they're doing by swinging faster, so to like hide it, right? So they go and they turn it up, or they go and they close it too quick. So take your time, work on everything I said, okay? The turn, the opening up, the contact point, and then keep it on your strings as long as possible. Imagine you're hitting 4 balls in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then see how my racket's now coming over and closing, and then I follow through. So that's going to be the key, all right, is going slow to contact point and finishing and getting really consistent with that. And then you move your feet really quick to get set up and hit that ball 60% wherever you want on the court. And guess what happens over time? If you build those fundamentals correctly, you'll start being able to swing faster and actually crack the ball. God, I get on tangents because I could go over how like parents start trying to get their kids to hit faster and then mess everything up. But I'm not. So I'm going to leave you with that. All right. Hopefully this has improved your game. You understand a little bit more, and now you have an understanding. If you're someone looking at social media trying to learn about tennis, you have more of an understanding about how these are little tricks within the context of the stroke to make a player better. If you're a coach or an advanced player, understand that's where the coach is coming from. Okay, they don't mean to hurt the player. I think good of everyone. I think it's just they're trying to get that content because it is a good thing that might help a player that understands the game, right? That of what we just went through. So, especially now with everything going crazy in the world, trying to understand where everyone's coming from. Let's get along. Until next time, guys.